Good morning. Rather strange. Full monetization even got paid, but you still don't see that little dollar sign on there. But that's not a big deal. Just taking notice of this as monetization is on. Oh well, I'm glad I don't depend on this. But however, make a notation of that. Okay, I'm gonna wait for a few people to show up here on my little early show today. Okay, gonna get back into that philosophical crap again. Some of you might appreciate it, some of you may not, but something to think about, really. Okay, build it and they shall come. So why don't we dive into this topic here and how a lot of us don't appreciate what we actually have. And this is not a bullshit session here. This is actually heart to heart. This is actually, call it my philosophical moment again. Call it whatever you wish, but sometimes you realize things in life that you don't really think about all the time, but then you contemplate in a moment of time where you just see how fortunate you are, and it doesn't necessarily mean money or material things necessarily on that. But I think I was watching a video of okay, it was two videos I saw there. One was an old guy, and he was dying of cancer or something. He was really in pain. His wife has died, and you know, special doctor has to come there and talk to her, and she knows that her husband is going, and all the years of they spent together, and that they're like part of each other. And the woman realizes that she's going to lose the love of her life. 50 years of marriage, whatever it's been. And there was another one actually. I happen to see a 16-year-old. It doesn't matter what the age is, guys. A 16-year old who had a brain aneurysm really bad, and required an operation, but the operation is not guaranteed. There was a great chance of death at 16 years old. 16 years old. 16 years old. And the father's there in the hospital, but he was on the cell phone talking to his mom and crying and saying he loves her and he don't want to die and all this other stuff. A lot of us, let's all just even for a minute, just kind of put all the bullshit aside, if that's even possible on here. That applies to you, Aloe and Popeye and all the Big Kevin, all the players on here, Fazio, Ricky, Roberto, all the players on here that spew nothing but hate on here. They think that's okay. But when you look at life at itself and the precious, life being so precious, you think to yourself, this is nonsense. Let me tell you something. Do you think if somebody was on their deathbed or something, you think they're going to want to listen to this crap on here? Do you think they want to be surrounded by negative people? Hell, they tune out faster than you could say the word negative. If you could put yourself aside for one moment, and I know that's really hard for some of you, and realize how ridiculous all this fighting and shit is on YouTube. If you could somehow step to the side just for one moment, I know it's hard for people to do. Obviously so, but if you could put shit to the side for 1 minute and realize how useless, nonsensual, ridiculous, and a waste of oxygen it is to come on YouTube or any social media platform for that fact and just spend your valuable time just doing shows about people and finding fault with people. That says volumes about the person who does that, especially when they do that on a consistent basis. Don't totally understand it. I've endured a lot of shit for the time I've been on YouTube. I've seen people give a lot of other people shit too. I've seen people experience a lot of shit on here. But it's just beyond me to why they do it. I mean, are their lives that out of control that they will adhere to this kind of behavior? And what is the end purpose of it? I mean, there has to be a purpose to something. There has to be a valid reason. But even so, whether you find some valid reason, like putting somebody in jail like Barry, who actually deserved it, but the truth is, you or even me, I'm nobody's judge. I'm nobody's court. and I will just handle things personally as it applies to me and how I feel something should be done. There are things that you could just totally leave alone. We have that power to do that. I think when some things become a little bit too aggressive and out of control, that you have to make certain decisions in your life. Or where do I want to go with this? But realistically, when you realize how short life is and how so many people on so many different social platforms are spending their time just trying to degrade people, defame people, cause trouble for people, going even as far as going after people's families. How do you define that? I mean, I can think of a lot of words, but there are probably too many words that give good application to actually what's going on. I have my moments where I step back from this shit and I kind of contemplate all this shit that I've been hearing for so many years. I'm not just talking about shit against me, but it's really everybody on here. Okay? I'm not even going to try to play the devil's advocate here. But I will tell you something, that what I have witnessed in the time I've been on YouTube. Well, I don't want to have to loosely throw that word around, cowards, but it does apply. Because when you spend that much time, I mean, realistically, guys, let's put the bullshit to the side. Let's put the bullshit to the side. When you spend that much time trying to hate on somebody, and then turn around and say, "No, I'm not the hater. That the person I'm trying to maim and hurt and degrade and make false allegations against." Well, why are you doing that, really? Is there a deficiency in your life where you feel that you have to go out and do this to people? Never understood that. Hello, John. Never understood that. How people have that much time on their hands to do this stuff. When you see real life stories, a 16-year-old that could die with an operation from a brain clot. And when you see this old couple, been married probably like 50 years, who've been basically part of each other, okay? Part of every waking moment, every good moment, every bad moment, and one of the partners, spouse or whatever it might be, is going to die. You're watching them have cancer or something, they're in pain, and you're going to be at their side and realizing that they're not going to be there too much longer, hello. It makes all this bullshit on YouTube seem so just pointless. It really is. So my philosophical moment here, I see the bullshit that goes on here, and I can't say that I know exactly what's going on in these people's lives. I don't know for sure. What I do know is that something's not right. Something's off kilter. Something is lacking. They're miserable in some way. Something happened in their life. They've been rejected by people all their life, or lost somebody in their life. And whatever it might be, friends, lack of, no socialization, whatever it might be, or all of the above, they're feeling really miserable. And for some reason, they have to lash out at the world, because not everything has happened the way they want. It seems to be pretty common on here. Now, I'm really grateful, I must say. And first point I'm going to say is that material things, if you've got an illness, for example, material things don't mean shit. It don't mean shit. It doesn't mean shit. The biggest billionaires in the world, if they had an unoperable medical situation, or they were going to die of cancer and there's no cure for their cancer, I mean, they would give up their whole fortune. We're talking $1 billion or more, even $100 billion to find a cure for themselves, wouldn't they? You probably would do the same thing too. So all of a sudden, that material shit don't mean nothing. It doesn't mean anything. You want to survive because it's a human instinct to survive. You want to be with your loved ones. But a lot. You think I joke? I do joke around on here a lot. But I also have my serious moments on here too, like today. And even that'll be made fun of. And that's just kind of goes to show you what you're dealing with out here. When the chips are down, and if you develop a serious illness or something catastrophic happened to your life, I don't think you're going to be on YouTube, or would it be wise to make a career out of just projecting and deflecting and just being a plain asshole? Because no matter what you spew out there, try to hurt other people, you're really just hurting yourself. And because maybe you feel that you can't change your life or whatever's going on in your life, maybe your health isn't very good. maybe you're at an advanced stage and you're obese. We have a lot of that out here. They figure, well, I don't really care. I'm going to lash out at anybody who gives me shit, or even if they don't give me shit, I'm just going to lash out at them because somehow it does something good for them. I mean, go figure, but that's just human nature on here. But I'm actually, and I said, put all the bullshit aside, all the troll shit aside, all the crap, all the players. I'm really grateful for what I do have. This poor 16-year-old, for example, I was giving an example. He's not going to live probably beyond 16 years old. He's just beginning life at 16 years old. Okay? And for those of you that don't have any health conditions and you think you're young and vibrant and you think you're going to live forever, there's no guarantees in life. Remember that. And I really am a troop. And again, let's put the bullshit aside. I'm really a believer that what you put out, you get back. If you want to call it karma, I don't really care. The terminology is, to me, not really that important. It really isn't. Yeah, it's not important. You have to live your life how you want to live it. You don't let anybody control your life. You do what's good for you. Now, as you get more advanced in age, you want more comfort in your life because, I mean, after all, you're retired and you maybe decide to move to a different country such here as the Philippines. And you want to live the best life that you can. The proverbial air conditioner thing, whatever, being able to afford a treadmill, whatever it is, whatever makes you happy and is actually useful or is a tool in your life. That's great. There's nothing wrong with that. One of the biggest, and I've talked about this recently, and one of my biggest goals was, I've had an insecurity, not a big one, but about my partner's future. Okay, because you get older, and although she has some skills, and she could be a good accountant if she wanted to, she could, she just has a lot of knowledge about a lot of different things. She actually does, But when you're like in your late 40s, for a woman in this country, it's very hard to get ahead. It's difficult, very difficult to get ahead, to get a good job. Now, if you and whether you're here in the Philippines or even America, wherever you might come from, if you find a good partner in life, which, as you all know, that's a really hard thing to find. It gets to the point you can't trust many people at all these days, can you? Part of life. It's very hard. Trust is a hard thing, but it has to be earned. If you get a partner that is earning that trust of you, you value that. Now, as you get older, and we're talking mostly about men on here, because the Philippines, it's the men that are actually coming out here to retire. You're getting older, and you know damn well that you're not going to be the same person you were when you were 20 years old. And the older you get, some people don't have any difficulties in life at all, no matter what age they are. They're doing very well. First of all, I'm very happy to say that my health is holding out, and I'm very happy about that. But sometimes you need to plan ahead. You have to plan, and I said this before, you got to plan for your present, for you, and the future of somebody, whether it's children, whether it's your partner, whatever it might be, spouse, plan for their future. And I can't emphasize this enough, really, that knowing that someone that you really care about is going to be taken care of well long after you're gone. I can't explain the feeling on that. That's such a satisfying, deep feeling that I can't put in words or emotions, really. It's knowing that you've taken care of business ahead of time. You've taken care of business. You've set up a future for somebody that's been really important to you. And I think that's a goal, whether it's your children, whether it's a loved one of any sort, a mother, a father, an aging mother or father. It don't matter really what the relationship is. But I really think, and I really feel strongly about this, that having that kind of satisfaction of knowing that you've accomplished, at least financially, certainly on that level, to ensure that someone that you really love is going to be able to go on in your life without stress long after you're gone. Now, to me, that's a really important factor. I'm not selfish at all. I'm really not. I am absolutely not selfish at all. Not one bit. There's not one selfish bone in my body. In actuality, I'm the kind of guy that if I was a multi-millionaire, there would be a lot of people who would benefit from me. You can't take it with you. You take care of your loved ones first, and then you be a benefactor to other people. That's the kind of person I am. I'd give my last $10 to somebody. That's I've done that actually. Hawaii. I've done that many times. I get satisfaction out of actually helping people. I get satisfaction of knowing that one small moment of kindness to somebody else, 1 ounce of kindness is like a whole pound of satisfaction to me when I'm able to be in a position to do something for somebody. Now, living in the Philippines has been quite an experience for me because I've seen the level of poverty out here. And, as I always say, you can't save the world, but, you could pick and choose who or how or when or if. I mean, we all have that capability of doing that. Employer. But, it's having to be in a position, being in a position where you could be able to kind of call it a payback to somebody has shown nothing but kindness that's there at your side, and is going to be there for the rest of your life, however long that is. You know how important that is? How some people just don't find that. And those are the lonely people out here that are lashing out. Those are people, some of them are even married, and their wives really don't know what they do on social media. There's a whole different side of people on here that they bring out on social media, the keyboard warriors and all that shit. The I'm going to get you attitude because they weren't able to get you. They tried everything for years and nothing, it's like, throw spaghetti on the wall and see if it sticks, type of situation that's been going on for years with everybody on here. Who could live life that way? I mean, on a daily basis, not even an occasional thing, but to live their life every day like that. How can I try to screw up somebody's life? What can I do to screw up somebody's life? And really, that's your goal, the mantra? I mean, what is it? Really? And let's be serious. What is it? What drives you to be a judge of somebody's character? What drives you to be able to put out these pointless statements and allegations about people that are not true to make you feel better about yourself? Is it that bad? I mean, really? Is it that bad? Did I feel sorry for you? Seriously. Okay, what do we have here? What wasn't that Frank's goal for the last few years? I don't know in particular what you're talking about. My goal was to certainly financially survive despite whatever you have in the bank, and you got to think about the future. And I've always thought about the future, mine and my significant other's future. I mean, you owe it. You owe it to somebody you love. You owe it. If they've been good to you, don't make judgment on you, then you owe it to them, especially if they're younger than you and they got a longer life than you and they have a longer life to live. You want to help them out. You want to put them in a position where, they could go on with life and enjoy life without having to be pressured by money. I think we should go back to sticks and stones, to be honest with you. Go back to the Bronze Age or something. But, money is realistically just a piece of paper. But however, money, unfortunately, is something in our society that we use in order to shelter ourselves, feed ourselves, and so forth, and take care of medical problems. So money, yes, is important, but material things are not important. Money is more important than material things, but to get material things, you need money, right? I don't know, what's the balance on the scale of that? But I think it's just called security is a better word. Having financial security is really important. You don't have to struggle all the time. Just when you struggle all the time, you're taking your time away from yourself and things that maybe you want to do, should do, will do, could do, want to do. You're taking time away from things that really matter in your life because you're struggling over money issues all the time. Money. Let's face it, what drives people, money, is power to some people. The big people like Trump and the people of billionaires, to them, money is power, and they use money as a power tool. Say, hey, I'm better than you because I got more money than you. No, having more money than the next guy doesn't make you a better person at all. It just gives you some security on your own, but it doesn't make, say, if I'm doing better than another YouTuber on here, it doesn't make me better than that YouTuber at all. Maybe it makes me smarter because I, planned and got myself into a position and my partner in a position that where money is not going to be like a really major issue. Okay, you could be rich one day and poor the next. Remember that. Keep that in mind. No matter how much you have, there's always a circumstance that could happen. But trying to be secure in your life is really important. Not that money is an important thing in life, but it is important to survive. Let's just face it. Money's an evil thing. People steal over, they kill over money. It's an evil thing when you really think about it, okay? They plot and plan devious crimes, over money, precious gems. It doesn't matter what it is, material things. People want to survive, but they don't want to survive by the rules. That's why we have thieves, criminals. They can't do it on their own, or they don't want to try. So they want to take something away from somebody else. And that's just not money. Let's talk about, on the other hand, taking somebody's pride, dignity, respect from somebody. Well, you can't do that. You can't take somebody's dignity away. You cannot take somebody's values away from them. A lot of things you could do, but you can't do that. You can't take somebody's memories away from them. There's a lot of things you can do, but there's a lot of things that you can't do either. You got to keep in mind. Sorry, I've been really reading these comments. Okay. Self-hate is a dangerous drug. I see this every day. Hurt people. Well, we find it right here. And you know who all the players are on here. When they get butt hurt is what happens, and they want to lash out at you. The one thing they've never been able to do with me is, go away. And tell me, go the fuck away. Go the fuck away. As I said, I'm always that person who makes that own decision. If I want to do a show, I put it on. I think I'm beyond that point of saying that I'm retiring from Philippines, because the truth is that I don't run away from anything at all, and I never have, and I never will. I never ran away from a good challenge. Not really, that I can recall. I'm just not going to even say that at all anymore. And of course, I've said that before too, that, hey, I'm getting off YouTube. I'm here. That's just bottom line. I'm here. And rather than talking about it, just don't post anymore. If I don't want to post anymore, that'll solve all the problems. You can either figure that I dropped dead, or I just, gave up on YouTube. Why don't we leave it at that? That's the more sensible thing to do, instead of all these back and forths and, oh yeah, I've achieved my goal and I'm retiring from here, and I could do that, because I actually have achieved a goal on here. I'm very proud of it. It just goes to show you perseverance, stick to your guns about something that you believe in, okay? Don't let people thread on you. Don't let people step on you. You could ignore these people too. You've got options. You always have options. That's for sure. That's up to you. You go to somebody's channel or not. You don't have to go there. But what drives you to go there? Some people go to other people's channels and find fault. Oh, he said this. I could record this now and play it on my show. Oh, did he really say that? Oh, I could use that against him for this. Really? You got that much time on your hands? You're that hateful in your heart that you spend your valuable oxygen on trying to find fault with somebody? I mean, seriously? Sometimes you got to get real. Watch some of these. If you like YouTube that much, get away from the trolling community and watch some interesting documentary type stuff on here about life itself and how precious it is. Now, as you get older, you get closer and closer to, well, let's put it bluntly, the end of your life. So why not spend it doing positive things, like this moment I'm doing this right here on my show, all of my philosophical moments. But I think more of us need more philosophical moments on here. We don't have enough of that, or any of that at all on here. All people want to do is throw mud pies in people's faces and threaten people, and I'm going to do this and do that, and so forth and so on. That's really just a waste of fucking time. But hey, I'm not your preacher, okay? And not paying me to preach. I just tell you how I feel and how I see things on social media here. It could be a good place, it could be a really crummy place. I think, at least I can't speak for all of the medias. I can't speak for other countries and stuff. I know I'm right here in the Philippines genre. Genre, by the way, again. It's just out of whack. We got these losers that move here from, and most of them come from the United States, but not just from the United States, but we got some well-known losers on here that can't seem to shake their reputation that, they created for themselves. So they figure, well, I can't shake their reputation, so I might as well just, continue being a total asshole, because that's all they're going to see me as, a total asshole. So I might as well be an asshole, right? Isn't that basically the creed or whatever that they're following? We can name names, but all the players are on here. You know who they are. I know who they are. Yeah. Anyway, I got to figure out a breakfast, but I just wanted to come on here and say, and I'm not bullshitting around on this broadcast. I mean, I'm telling you how I feel about it. Yeah, I am lucky. I mean, people can talk all the shit about me that they want. Doesn't mean it's true. And they can say I don't have money, and it doesn't mean that's true or not true. I mean, it's, you're not living my life. Okay. I feel like a very lucky person. And if I was religious, I would say I was very blessed. I was very blessed. You know, I have people in my family that are just maybe a few years older than me that are not doing as well as I am on the health. I lost all my family to bad health situations, but it wasn't a genetical thing. It wasn't genes. It was how they took care of themselves or didn't take care of themselves. They're paying for it now. And some are gone because they didn't even believe in seeing a doctor. They didn't believe in any preventive maintenance. I was always the smarter one in my family. To this day, I still am. I'm proud to say it. I'm the smarter one in my family. I've achieved more than most people in my family has ever achieved altogether. But that doesn't come with like laying on your back, okay? It comes with effort. It comes with time. It comes with learning. It comes with self-awareness. Self-awareness. Not too much dialogue this morning here. That's for sure. Not too much dialogue. Well, the funny thing is I finally got my PIN code. And I'm getting whatever money I had in my AdSense sent to my bank account. It took this long just for that. And I still don't have a dollar sign on here. Do you see it on here? I don't see it. But as I said, that doesn't matter because that's so infinitesimally small to worry about. The piddly amount of money you can make on YouTube. Fortunately, I don't need to survive on YouTube revenue to keep my head above water. I'm in a very good position right now. Actually, an excellent position right now. And that makes me feel good about myself. It makes me feel more secure. Because all my life, I've been insecure about money. I always want to make sure that I was a step ahead, had a plan, something. Because I had poor parents and I seen the way they lived. I said, man, I don't want to live that way, you know. Didn't work out well for them, but factors and circumstances would cause their financial situations, education, a lot of different things. I loved my parents, but I don't want to be exactly like them. Not the way they handle things in life. That's not me. I've always took the higher road in life. Higher not meaning that I'm better than these people, more on a learned basis, more on a basis of knowledge. And don't do what they did to create their situation. Don't follow up what they did. Learn from others and the mistakes they've made. And don't go there. Go beyond that and stay beyond that. I'm just gonna have to do a little bit of ad lib here, which I've been doing here. I'm trying to get some shit off my mind here. There's a lot of things to learn on YouTube if you listen to people. There are good channels out there that are intended to be channels to promote something positive. You got to stay away from all the negativity on here, okay? Everybody's proud of something that they accomplished. Even Uncle Jesse, good old Uncle Jesse's got this girl that looks like she's about 13 years old, who is supposed to be an adult. And okay, but is Jesse happy? Or does he think he's exploiting her? See, it's the difference between you and me is, you know, I can look at it both ways. You know, is Uncle Jesse, as an example, we're just using him as an example, is he exploiting her on camera? Like, look what I got. I got this on this old coot that got this girl who looks like 13 years old, which you know, having somebody who looks like 13 years old not be something I'd be very proud of, because someone would think it was my granddaughter or something. You know, he's happy, and you know, and if the girl is actually happy with him, I mean, who are we really? Even me, when I think back on this now, and who are we to make judgment on Uncle Jesse? If he's happy with her in the arrangement and she's happy with him, no matter what she looks like, even if she looks like she's 13 years old, of course, as I said, let's transport them to the United States. This couple, it wouldn't be comfortable for them. But here, this kind of relationship is accepted in the Philippines. Not many people are going to give you too many dirty looks and say, well, this chick looks like, you know, she hasn't even had pubic hairs yet. She's that young. This old coot is having sex with her, and they're married. And you say to yourself, and you scratch your head and say, oh man, I don't get this. I don't get this. Then, you know, again, who are we to judge? Are they happy? If they are, I guess you should applaud them, you know, really. Whether you think the guy is a backwoods hillbilly or not, you know, if this young girl is making him feel younger, and young still being 24, which she claims is her age. I'm just using this as an example, folks. I'm not going to go through every character on here, but Uncle Jesse comes to mind because so much controversy as to how old this girlfriend really is. Okay, she does look young. Got to admit that. She absolutely does look very, very young. And a lot of people have questioned that. But if she's of legal age, then, you know, he doesn't have a problem. And I guess why shouldn't he have a problem? Except for, you know, getting mocked by people. And even myself, I'm guilty of it. I never really believed in a really extreme age gap. I mean, basically, you're a woman when you have your first fucking period. Let's get graphic here. You're a woman, basically. But in our society, well, certainly in the Western culture, you know, we look at this as being very wrong. Okay? I don't know how you look at it. I still think it's wrong. Okay, no matter what, where you live, the age gap, it's not something that I would recommend on such a wide gap. What do you have in common? That's one thing. What do you have in common? Nothing, really. She has a working part and you have a working part, and together you bump uglies and whatever. You're still able to do it. The guy's getting his jollies. Some people say that he's a child predator, and that's the worst word in the world. See what I mean about that word? It's very easy to spread that around and call people that. Is Uncle Jesse a child predator? What makes you think he is? If she's 24 years old. Okay, unless you want to counter in the age gap thing, that still doesn't make Uncle Jesse a child predator. Was he before he moved to the Philippines? Is that why he's with this girl that he saw on a dating site that looks so young it could be his great-great-grandchild? I don't know. And I'm not going to pretend that I know, because I don't. And to make that assumption is wrong. You can't make these assumptions about people. Not even about Uncle Jesse. Yeah, I think it's pretty weird. Fuck yeah, I think it's fucking weird. When I see her, I mean, yeah, let's see. Travel Learn Repeat says, that's a little girl, Frank. I disagree with you on this one. He could get a Filipina this age. It's called. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's, well, obviously so. I mean, for someone her age, I mean, to be with him, it's financial security. But he's not exactly rich either. So how do you look at this thing, really? He's not rich. He doesn't make a lot of money at all. But to her, and if you could see how they're living in this concrete block house, it's not finished. It's not, obviously there's poverty going on. And I'm going to just make an assumption, which I don't like to make an assumption, but I'm going to assume that her family is not rich. Okay, so even being with somebody, let's look at Barry and the girlfriends he had, okay? Barry wasn't rich, but he made money every month guaranteed. Right? That's the secret. That these girls would know that somehow, some way, they're going to be able to survive because this guy has a guaranteed check coming in every month. So it's better than being with somebody that has no income at all, right? Obviously. I get your point. But no, I never thought it was right. I'm sorry, I'm big on the age gap thing here. I'm really huge on the age gap. I get sick to my stomach when I see on the street. I was at this restaurant lounge yesterday ordering a pizza because my regular pizza place closed down, so I wanted to try this other thing, and all these Aussies were in this bar, and they look, and they're probably my age or younger, and they just looked like fucking hell. So I'm grateful to a lot of things in my life that I've seen people at a similar age than me or even younger that look like total fucking hell, that look extremely older than what they are. I'm grateful I don't look that way. Every gathering I have seen, and of course this whole topic is about being grateful, so I'm still on track here why I did this show about being grateful. And I sit there, just yesterday I even made a comment to my girlfriend. I said, do I look anything like that? I bet they're my age or maybe slightly younger. She says, no, you don't. I guess I've been lucky. I don't know, maybe because I take care of myself in certain ways. But if you're going to act old, dress old, you're going to be old. If you're going to think old, you're going to be old. That's never been me. Never been me. I'm not going to go play bingo, okay? That's when you give up in life. If you're going to reach that age, you're retired, you go to play fucking bingo. That you have to be forced to play bingo. You're old. You're old. You're washed up. You're old. It's over. It's over. Just, go buy a burial plot. It's over. It's over. If that's what your life has come to at retirement, that you're going to play bingo with all the other senior citizens. I mean, obviously it's wrong to hang with senior citizens. If you are what you are your age, hang with senior citizens. But seriously, to resort to go play bingo with a bunch of old folks that are waiting to fucking die because they just gave up on life. They gave in to their age. Didn't take care of themselves. They wear the socks up to their knees and the black shoes and the khaki pants. And they wear tacky fucking shirts, like, really poor taste Hawaiian style shirts. Hey, look, I've had some Hawaiian style shirts that were made by a good company, local Hawaiians. It wasn't from Japan or Korea or any place like that. So really quality stuff that wasn't gaudy. Some of these shirts are really nice if they're not too loud. You don't get a loud design like Ricky's wearing. And by the way, that guy's been wearing it for the same 4 days. If you haven't noticed that, that's called the high life, I guess. What you looking for? Grasshopper? Did they get in? I know. Grasshopper. What are we eating for lunch? I don't know. Breakfast? I don't know. Did you cook something?
I boiled egg.
some eggs right now, and I could always have, I don't know,
Boiled egg is a good one.
might have to go crazy cooking, but always have
Nadala.
my oatmeal. What is that? A little the baby grasshopper? Yeah, leave him alone. He deserves to live. Take a glass, let him jump in and let him go outside. Don't kill the grasshopper. We kill things, generally they're in our environment. They're supposed to be outside. So we use this philosophy. If it's in the house, kill it. Well, I mean, if it's a cockroach, kill it. But then you're saying you're being a hypocrite, Frank, because a cockroach has life too, right? But cockroaches are gross, but grasshoppers not. They don't bother you. They're not really filthy creatures like a cockroach is. That could bring in disease and allergens, And they do actually. They do bring in allergens. But let live, I used to kill the frogs, those damn toad frogs that have the poison. Now I try to just get them out of my yard and let them live. Because life is short, life is precious, and we just don't look at life that way. That has been the whole point of the show on appreciating things in life and how short life is, and that you don't realize until, let's say, for example, something happened to you. You'd expect it. Nobody expects anything. It just happens sometimes. It just happens. Then everything else becomes so insignificant. Oh, that fight you're having with somebody on YouTube. Then think to yourself, how fucking insignificant was that? Why the fuck was I spending my time harassing, bullying, doxing this person all this time? How insignificant that quickly becomes. It really does. Where's Jimmy Hoffa's body buried? I don't know. Nobody really ever found out. Let's see here. Bingo is high risk, low odds gambling. It's the punk rock of gambling for pensioners who look conventional but secretly have to live life on the edge. So that's living life on the edge, huh? Playing bingo? I don't know about that, if that's what you meant.
Bingo casino.
Well, I was going through this speech here about how you really know when you're really old is when you go spend your time playing bingo and wearing your khaki pants and black shoes and white socks up to your knees, and you just let your hair go and grow a beard and you look like total shit. I was just telling them how we were at the HR lounge ordering a pizza and how all these Aussies were there. They just happened to be Aussies that come there. How grayed out they were and wrinkled up they were, and every one of them smoked, of course, and out there drinking their beers and talking their Aussie stuff to each other. Birds of a feather stick together, nothing wrong with that, but they had something in common. They're Aussies, and nothing against Aussies, but when you look at these people, you see how they didn't take care of themselves. They can't be older than me, maybe up to my age or less, and I see this a lot when people just kind of let themselves go. I mean, they just go drag, they just let themselves totally fucking go. Man, that's just not me. And it's never going to be me as much as I can help it. You can only fight Mother Nature so much. I mean, you can only do what you can do. That's just a fact. But I do whatever it is I can do until I can't do anymore, man. Mother Nature's going to take over no matter what. You're not going to get younger looking as you get older, but you could actually keep yourself in decent looking shape. You take care of yourself, get a good haircut. I just did yesterday, whatever, take vitamins, eat good foods. I mean, after all, you got to carry around your body no matter where you are. I mean, you got to live in your body. I mean, if you're doing some bad things to your body, well, maybe consider doing a few other good things to your body besides the bad: smoking, drinking, illicit drug use, whatever the hell it is you do to your body. Think of perhaps, kind of instituting some kind of or introducing some kind of positive thing health-wise to yourself, whether it's doing some exercise, walking by a treadmill, do something. Our room is now a complete gym. We're not complete, but we have actually pulled this together. We rearranged things in there. It's a comfortable looking room right now. We got it together. We got the bike, got the treadmill, we got some hand weights, things like that, some other small paraphernalia. And it's looking good. Next sometime we'll probably get my old big screen TV, maybe put that up in there. It's a little dark on one side. There was an electrical storm, just the TV we used to have at the other house, and it got fucked up. So one side of the screen is a little lighter than the other side of the screen, a little bit darker, but it definitely works. They could use that as a monitor for something or whatever, where you work it out. And one thing that really helps when you work it out is you got to listen to something, whether it's music. It could even be a show on YouTube. I mean, a good show. You don't want to listen to a bunch of negative shit, but that works out real well to occupy your mind. Because truthfully, it's boring as hell. I'll be the first one to tell you, it's boring as fucking hell to go on a treadmill. It's always better to go out and take walks. But here's the thing too about that. That's pleasurable too. But there's actually more force against your lower back. Okay, have a good day at school. Take care now. All right. And there's more force against your spine because of the ground, the unevenness of the ground, rocks, this, that. It's actually more beneficial to do a treadmill. But, do both. That's okay. But I think it's better to do a treadmill on a regular basis where it does take a lot more of the pressure off your spine than it would by walking out in the terrain. Okay, that's something I learned. But doing something for yourself, that's what you need to do. Fuck everybody else. Don't worry about everybody else. Worry about yourself and the people that you love. Fuck everybody else. Fuck everybody else, no matter what the hell they think of you. It don't matter in the scheme of life. It don't matter what anybody thinks about you. The best, have I said this a long time too? You really want revenge on somebody, really? The best revenge is living well. And if that's the case, in my case, then there's a revenge. I'm living well. I'm living well. I can't deny it. We're living well. And that's important to me because I am, quote, living. So while I am living, I want to live well, okay? I want to live in my choice. Nobody makes that choices for me. They could wish it on me. They can't make that happen. Only I'm in control of my own life as well as you're in control of your own life. Make sense? Okay, Jecto says, when I was born, I was so ugly, the doctor slapped my mother. Yeah, I've heard that joke before. Instead of the baby being slapped on there to get it to cry, see, it's okay. He slapped the mother, says, that's one ugly kid. Which always reminds me of Kramer on Seinfeld. Here we go back to Seinfeld again. You remember when Elaine, invited Kramer and Jerry up to Long Island to visit her friend out there, and she had just having a baby. And that was a really funny one. And the baby was so goddamn ugly. See, to a mother, your baby is beautiful no matter what it looks like. It could be deformed, it's still going to be beautiful to you because it's your baby. Okay? But, Elaine, it was very expressive in there. And she had that look of disgust on her face when she was looking at her friend's baby. Elaine, you gotta have a bye-bye. Move to Long Island. It was funny and shit. Then Kramer, of course, who was very, word for him is very animated, very animated. Looked at the baby and he did a fucking double step back. Like he was so horrified of looking at that baby. Yeah. But to a mother, the baby's beautiful, man, to each his own. But, you created that baby, so it's beautiful to you. And you might actually have a very beautiful baby, okay? But it's your baby. And it's beautiful. Whether it was born with a deformed or a defect or something, that baby is beautiful to you because it is your baby. It's how you in your life define what is beautiful on a surface level. And that's unfortunately for most of us in the world. We judge people based on exterior. Yeah, we look at somebody and say they're fat, too skinny, too long of a nose, bad complexion perhaps, some deformity, maybe they don't have any arms or something. And we make a judgment on them. Do we not all have the same blood? Do we not have all the same organs in our body? We certainly do. But people feel that they gotta make judgment. Here come the judge. Here come the judge. Who the fuck are you to be anybody's judge? That's what I say. Yeah. Lester says, never underestimate a comfortable pair of shoes. You got that right. Because I tell you what, I have a number of pairs of shoes here. And not one of them is that comfortable for me. Either the soles, the inner sole are worn out or they're not comfortable. Oh, yeah, they got the big names on there. Some of them are knockoffs and a couple of them are not knockoffs. And it's the same freaking thing. My feet, I think, take more abuse on my body than anything. Yeah. My feet need nurturing. I might go to this Thai massage place. Who knows? They do feet and all that stuff. You know, right in town, they got a Thai massage place right here. Feet, man. All your nerve endings are at your feet. It's wonderful. I got to get a little sweetheart here to do my feet someday. To get her to do that. No cut by nails. She does that for me. But to give me a nice oil massage on my feet, you know, something, you know, and just really treat my feet. After all, I mean, your feet are your best friend. You got to walk on them. That's what holds up your body. You know how important they are? Your little tootsies. Your tootsies are very important. You got to love them. You got to take care of them. Anyway, are you guys getting bored or what? I know you want a lot of drama on here. I know that's hard to adjust to. I understand that. You've been weaned on this drama shit all the time, you know, like a typhoon.
Yeah.
Huh?
Typhoon.
Oh, in there, the closet. Yeah, you know, we got this. Oh, what do you call it? An armoire, or whatever you want to call it. That's why we got to set up the room for the, you know, and we still got the poles up. I mean, God, what's with us? So we don't really have good closet space as far as like having a, you know, just one armoire or whatever you want to call this damn thing. You know, you can't put any of these. We, you know, fold up the shirts, put it in there. Then when you got to find a shirt, you're pulling one from underneath. Everything gets discombobulated. And as she just said, it looks like a typhoon hit this closet. You know, and that's the way it usually is. So she's over there. The good woman she is, she's refolding all these shirts. Refolding all these shirts. She didn't have to. Damn, you know what I mean? Never underestimate a good, comfortable pair of shoes. You got that right. And never underestimate a good mate. That's the other one. Important. Never underestimate a good mate. You know, for those that have, congratulations. For those that don't, you know, get one. Go out there and get me one. Go and get me one. Yeah. You know, put a little bit of lemon behind your ear. Do what it takes to get that pretty little lighting, to get interested in you. But be real. Be real. If you're ugly and you're dishonest, show it out to her right away. Right away. And let her make that decision whether or not you're worth being with. If she likes you being ugly and disrespectful and judgmental, you know, there you found your mate. That, you know, that's what she's looking for. Then you're a couple made in heaven. But
It's very beautiful, and then the attitude's like a dragon.
so you can be beautiful but be a dragon, is what you're saying.
The attitude's like a dragon.
You know, there's some really, you know, beautiful women in this world. I'll tell you what, you know, really beautiful women on the outside, but they could be some dragon queens. You know, they could really be vicious on the inside. Beauty is external. And if you're lucky to have, you know, both, someone that's beautiful on the outside and beautiful on the inside, then you scored. You scored big time. But, you know, you can have the most beautiful women in the world, but would you really want to marry that woman if she's just an absolute biatch, you know? Why would you want to be with her? Why, just because she's good looking, you get your rocks off? But what if you have to live with this woman? You're going to marry a woman that's a real biatch? No, I don't think you're going to be happy. But because she looks good on the outside, and that's going to be your excuse for having a relationship with her. Think of getting permanent relationship? You're fooling yourself, as everybody is on here. Thinking, nothing's going to happen to me. I could call you anything on here. I could be your judge and jury. Why does it always sound like Clinton? I don't know. I do these imitations. It always sounds like Clinton. I swear, I never inhaled. I never touched that woman. Never touched her. But you know, you're in control of your fucking life. I'm not. But you know, to be out there and be somebody's judge and jury, fuck that shit, man. Judge yourself. Don't judge others. Just take a good look at yourself and look at the reflection of yourself. And what do you see? Be honest with yourself. Be very honest with yourself. What do you see when you look in the mirror at yourself? And if you were to take every insult you ever made to anybody and replayed it back, how would you be looking at yourself, really? Would you think you were righteous for calling some woman a name of drastic proportions, or calling some guy a horrible name like a predator or something like that, knowing that you get your ass killed for something like that? You got regret? You regret you ever said that? I know somebody that regrets it right now. We won't mention names. Highly regretting it right now. Oh, yeah. He certainly is. Anyway, when I run out of things to say, that's when I get the fuck off here. I gotta put together a break fast. Oh, Fazio, what a fucking 72 hour. What a fucking loon that guy is. What a fucking loon from the moon. Christ almighty. I still want to challenge him. Please take a 2-liter bottle and just drink it all down at once. I want to see what a man you really are. And perhaps a little advice if, pardon me, if you'd use some quality lumber, maybe your little ant shack, whatever, rat shack wouldn't fall apart as much as it does. How about using some treated lumber, perhaps? How about some marine plywood? And you would have to be climbing your fat ass up that makeshift ladder, the ladder of death, and get on the roof or something that's going to collapse as much as you do. But then I understand it does give you something to do. I guess that's the whole point of going into your tiny, tiny, tiny little yard and moving one item from one end of the yard to the other and then repeat and rinse and trying to make use out of a termite-ridden piece of old plywood. Oh, this will work. Oh, God. You just can't control what people do. People either fucked up or they're not fucked up. And they got to live with themselves. That's the bottom line to end this. People have to live with themselves. That's it. I can't end it better than that. People have to live with themselves. Congratulations. If you've done a good job with your own life and getting your shit together, if you didn't, remember, I don't care where you move to from here to there. You got to carry yourself no matter where you go. You might think the green grass of another place might be greener than where you were. No, you're still going to carry yourself there, aren't you? You're still going to be that hateful piece of shit that you are. Nothing's going to change. With that being said, toodaloo.